Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. For those of you who Friday's a real Friday. Today would be my Saturday if I was home, but I am not. So let's see what we got. We got the world. Awesome. Ending of a cycle. Something is coming to a close, and then the Seven of Wands. So the world completing a goal. Life lesson. It's stepping out of this cycle. Whatever it was you've been dealing with, we've been dealing with, it's about to come to an end. There was a lot of painful, I guess, steps on this particular journey. For me, specifically, this has been a very long and gut-wrenching journey. I am ready for this cycle to end. But it's coming to an end. I don't know about the rest of you, but things are starting to make sense to me in a way that they didn't before. I am not necessarily overjoyed at the particular ending of this cycle, or how it's ending, or the next cycle that's beginning, but there is a satisfaction in knowing, I guess would be the way to put it. It's like when you have a medical issue, right? And you keep going to the doctor and they keep saying there's nothing wrong, nothing wrong, nothing wrong. And then you finally find a doctor that gives you the answer and there's something wrong. It's kind of like that. It's not necessarily that you're happy about the diagnosis, right? It's that you are relieved that you're not fucking nuts, in that you knew something was wrong, right? So it's kind of like that. You found that doctor that finally had figured it out. To the Seven of Wands. I see this as your protective bubble, right? You can see that she's put an energetic protective bubble around herself, and not allowing her solar plexus in particular. And I never usually look at the chakras in this card, but it's balanced. She's balanced. Don't let anybody tip the scales on your balance, right? Just be very mindful of competition, of protecting your energy. You really need to protect it now. I feel like most things you keep at bay, no problem, but there's one particular area of your life that you have a really difficult time setting boundaries and keeping boundaries with. So identify that. Figure out what is that one energy that you keep letting in, that you are weak to. What's your kryptonite? Find your kryptonite and defend yourself from it. Make sure you're not letting other people's energy steal your joy, steal your peace. King of Swords again. And you know what? I don't feel like he's upside down. I really don't. I don't feel like he's reversed. Use your logic. Be that bold leader. Use your intuition and just know that whatever you do, do it with power and strategic thought. You know, play chess, not checkers. If you are faced with something that you're having to do, that you are just not quite sure on how to do it, don't rush. Right? Go within, really think about the situation, really think about from a logical standpoint, not emotion, right? From a logical standpoint, and make the best decision you can with the information that you have. We have the Knight of Cups. He's coming back. I like to see him again. This is Prince Charming, right? This is our Prince Charming again. Our love letters, our roses. He, it is the beginning of something new. It's... I keep getting drawn to the hat. This hat. I don't know if that hat means anything to anybody. It looks like Crocodile Dundee to me, and I don't even know why. I haven't thought of that movie in ages. I don't even remember the point or the moral or whatever you want to call it of that movie. And maybe that is the point, right? Just get creative. Like you've ended this cycle. You're defending your energy. You're using your logic. You're being a good leader. Don't forget about romance, right? You've been in this cycle for so long. Have you paid attention to romance? Have you missed it? Have you been so wrapped up in whatever it is that you have forgotten about love? Have you forgotten that there is a level of joy and romance and creativity and happiness meant for you this lifetime that you maybe weren't seeing? You know, maybe you were playing the martyr. Maybe you were feeling like it wasn't meant for you. That card tells me it is. It is meant for you. Maybe it's later for you. Maybe you had other things to do first. Maybe you had to be the King of Swords before you could be the Queen of Cups, right? Maybe you had to get this done. And, you know, divine timing. Everything happens at the perfect time. Don't feel like you're late to the ball game, right? You had other things to do. Your soul contracts were different. You know, they were just different. And it might be time to consider putting that idea of romance back to the forefront of your mind. I don't usually do romantic readings at all. I don't usually really even consider it in my readings too much unless it's like completely obvious. And that in and of itself might be a message, right? It's just not been a priority in my collective lately, in the last few years anyway. So it's coming back, guys. At any rate, it's coming back, right? It's time to think about it again. We got the Two of Swords in reverse. So the Two of Swords is, when it's upright, it's mental conflict, right? She looks completely conflicted, like she's not sure which way to go. She can't really see. Crows are coming at her from all direction, and she's just not sure. When it's in the reverse, I feel like she's still stressed out, right? She's still, I mean, that didn't go away. I still kind of feel that with this card. But I also feel like she's not being authentic about it, right? Like she's lying. She's just not having good judgment. You know, she's blocking whatever it is. Kind of goes with the 7 here, right? Blocking. So she's blocking energy. She's blocking her thoughts. I think she's not wanting to think about whatever it is she has to think about. We may have been doing this for a while. I feel like I can certainly cop to that. I have buried my head in the sand over more than one thing in my life. But that's what I feel like this is, burying your head in the sand. Don't do that. Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't refuse to decide. Don't stress yourself out. You know, keep your wits about you. Keep your integrity. I'm feeling the honesty, dishonesty, integrity portion of this card. Like, be your authentic self with integrity. Whatever you're thinking about doing, do it with integrity. It follows the romance card, so I feel like maybe whatever comes your way, be careful. Use your best judgment. Use your King of Swords energy, your logic. Protect your energy. Maybe it's all about the new romance that's coming. Don't be dishonest. Be your authentic self. Tell the truth. Don't try to be something you're not. And don't try to make the situation something that it's not. From there, we get the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So, Knight of Swords in the upright is, he's violent. He's cruel, and he's out of control. Tip, normally. In this deck, I don't see any of that. I see him running away very fast, right? He's following the crow. I looked up crows yesterday. Actually, crows have been showing up for me a lot. I think that's why they're jumping out at me in the cards. But the crows bring messages of illumination. They bring messages of the fact that things are all starting to make sense, right? Because the crows fly up above. They have a different perspective. They have a higher perspective, and they can see things almost like, not like the eagle. Like the eagle is definitely the bird that is indicative of, seeing the big picture. But crows see the picture and bring the message, I think. And our character here is chasing it. He's chasing that big picture, I feel like, I always try to figure out why things happen. And maybe that's just my own way of dealing with things. But I have figured out bigger things lately than I have ever before. I had figured out why I lost jobs to get better jobs, and I had figured out that I had lost friends because they were being dishonest and gossiping, or I had gone through certain things in my life to lead me to be able to help others with personal knowledge, right? This Knight of Swords, to me is, it's bigger than that, right? So I learned about karma this week. I know that sounds really funny. I was watching Just Keep Swimming, 11:11, and one of my favorite readers. And she'd done a reading, divine feminine, divine masculine readings. And I don't remember the name of the particular reading. She only posted it about 2-3 days ago. I think she posted on the 12th or the 11th. Anyway, she explained karma in a way I'd never heard it explained before. Her name is Stephanie, and she said that if you are stuck in a cycle where you are always in the same sort of relationship, right? You always get the guy that cheats on you, or you always get the guy that, takes advantage of you in some way. And you're telling this story about being a victim, right? As you get yourself into that victim mentality and tell the story, and to yourself, like, this isn't even about gossip or whatever, but if you tell that story to yourself about why am I always the victim, you just planted the seed for the next guy to take advantage of you or cheat on you and be the victim. And that's what you will sow, right? So when you come out of situations like that, obviously don't do that. And I feel like it had never been completely explained to that level. I've heard karma explained as your intention, what you put out into the world. It never occurred to me, and I know this may sound dumb, for lack of a better word, or I don't know, ignorant, in that it never occurred to me that the karma was the intentions that I was setting, or not even the intentions that I was setting. It was the story I was telling myself about myself. It had nothing to do with the outside world. It had nothing to do with, oh, I did all these good things and I helped all these people and I keep getting screwed over and, eventually my karma is going to pay off. Well, no, it's not, because you're still telling the story of being screwed over. Quit telling the story to yourself, get yourself out of that mindset. It's easy to put ourselves in a victim mentality. Poor me, my parents did this. Poor me, my husband did that. Poor me, my kids did this. Poor me, that happened. Poor me, that happened. Poor me, that happened, right? Get out of the poor me's, and the universe will stop giving you reasons to say, poor me. I learned that this week. The other thing I learned was, again, from a higher perspective of what things were coming together to bring me to this moment. Like, I literally felt like I could see the universe as leading an orchestra. He was the conductor of an orchestra, or she, or whomever. And all of the instruments were playing, and all of the stories were happening. One here, one there, one there, one there. One in my past, one in this state, one in that state, for this person, for that person. And everything came together and made sense. And I would never have been able to reach that conclusion, ending the cycle with the world, had I not gone through every specific thing that I particularly went through. Had I not had the knowledge I have, had I not known the people I know, had I not made bad decisions, the bad decisions literally were necessary. It's crazy when you can see that from the higher perspective. The King of Wands, right? The Leo, the energy, the strength behind it. There was an inner strength that exists within us that we don't always remember is there. He's not making himself obvious, and our king is not turning around to see if he's there. And I just noticed there's a lizard on his chest, but he knows he's got strength. He doesn't need to prove it. Again, I think even like with our King of Swords, I think the reason I like this deck so much is because it's authentic. People don't need to prove it. He's not trying to tell people he's a king, right? He just is. He knows it. He has everything he needs within him. I'm particularly drawn to the color red in this, the root chakra. It's balancing. You're really starting to see that you don't have to stay in defense mode anymore. You don't have to always be in defense mode. You're the king. You are karma. You are the universe. Literally. Again, another shout out to Just Keep Swimming 1111. She said that, and it hit me. It really hit me. That reading, and thanks, Steph, for that reading. I love it. It really turned the page for me in a way that I can't explain. But our King of Wands, King of Wands. Oh my gosh, I can't even think straight. He's our bold leader. He's our top dog. He's very courageous. There's a Leo energy around him that is helpful. There is a resource that he counts on that could be a Leo, or it could be a lot of Leo in your chart. And our King of Swords, of course, another leader that doesn't have to prove he's a leader, intentional, powerful, quick action, is strategic. Between strategic and courageous, what do you think the universe is telling you? What is that strength? What is that strategy? Use your strategy, use your strength. You got this, right? And we got two kings, which is synchronistic in and of itself. And then we had the two knights as well, now that I think about it. So we had King of Swords, King of Wands, and we had the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So, and then we did have the 2 in the middle. So, strategy and strength, bold leaders. Then we had the beginning of romance, and we had the fast thinking change, right? Big change in lifestyle, big change in seeing our bigger picture. It takes a king to have that strategy and strength, but get back into your childlike qualities, get back into the teenager outlook. Maybe there was that saying, life begins at whatever, insert whatever age here. And I have no issue with ages. So I could say in my case, life begins at 50, right? I spent 50 years bringing myself up to this, bringing myself to that, energy for a particular situation, for this situation, right? To bring this situation to a close, it required the king energy. Well, that's over now. That's over. Let it go. Be honest about it. Be honest about it. And you know what? Be your authentic self. Protect your energy. Think about starting life for you now. In my case, it might be time for romance. You figured it out. You see things differently now. You are literally a different person. I feel like a different person. I feel like if I look in the mirror, I'm not going to see that same person I saw for the last 50 years. And I can't explain it. I don't know how or why. Things just fell into place. It was like the curtain finally lifted. It all made sense. Anyway, King of Cups and the 5 of Swords. I love it. So again, we're gonna move quicker this time on our next path. Our journey to being the King of Cups is it's gonna be quicker. I see again with the red chakra, the red color, I see the root chakra. He's got a fish around his neck. He's playing the singing bowls. He's, again, does not look like a king, right? He just doesn't. This is a lot of water energy. It's a lot of emotion. It's tolerance. It's understanding. It's empathy. It is, you have a level of understanding now that it makes being this way easy. It makes your empathy easy. Whatever situation you're dealing with, whatever you have figured out, it literally flipped a switch on your entire outlook of the world in general. It has flipped and made you understand from a perspective that you had never considered. And it gives you the level of understanding to have empathy for situations that you really just have no idea what is going on under the surface, right? You just don't. And now that you know for the situation that you're ending, for the cycle that you're ending, you don't have to know anymore. You can look at every situation from that perspective of it's not just A or B, it could be a one of a million things, and you don't know what it is, and you trust, and you tolerate, and you understand, and you show empathy, and you've become a king in that realm, and now you've got 3 kings in the reading, and the last being the 5 of Swords. So what's coming to an end, guys? What's our 5 of Swords? Our 5 of Swords is abuse. It's abusive relationships. It's toxic. It's bullies. I always see the 5 of Swords as bullies. Look at this. I mean, this guy is tortured. He's literally being tortured in his brain, right? In his head. He's not opening his eyes to see. And his higher self's going, yo, wake up, man. Wake up. So when the Five of Swords comes in reverse, it's a fair fight. It's peace. That peace you're looking for, guys, it's here. It is here. Enjoy it. I love it. I love it, guys. I'm obviously in a much better mood. I'm still exhausted and I'm still traveling. So I am gonna just relax. I've gotta get some stuff done today and get back on the road tomorrow to go home. So there may or may not be a reading tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. And the weekly shadow work reading that I do with the Disney deck, we'll do that Sunday probably, because I did not bring my Disney deck with me because I just wasn't thinking when I left. But at any rate, guys, last bit of advice, Seven of Wands in reverse. You can open up again. You'll be able to open up. You'll know who to open up to. And with discernment, with logic, with love, with empathy, and with strength, and with courage. I'm so proud of us, guys. I really am. We finally get to bring this to an end. So go out there and celebrate. And I will see you on the flip side.